Welcome back, dear friends. This video is especially for people who belong to the field of management, psychology, education, and social sciences. As we know that the importance of publication is very much in the in the life of a researcher, and every researcher wants to get his name published in a good journal. But there are other ways also through which you can create a name that is known as copyright. Today I'll tell you what is a copyright. So as an academician we aspire for conducting researches which can help us to get name and fame. But as a field of science and technology, the voice has a scope for innovation and invention and getting it registered as patent. We the members of management field, academicians as well as scope. But Indian Copyright Act 1957 gives us an opportunity for registering our names in the literary. The Indian Copyright Act 1957 was passed from Parliament on 4th June 1957 and came into effect from January 1958. This act has been amended 6 times till date since then. It has lots of provisions and it's very tricky also to understand, but I have tried to cut it short and give you the main points only. So the main point which related to it are: first is work, and second point is authorship and ownership. Now, what is the work? We have to understand. As per the Indian Copyright Act 1957, Section 2, subsection A, work has been classified as into 3 parts. First is literary, dramatic, musical or artistic work. Then a cinematographical, and C, a sound recording. So as a student of management or a student of social sciences, we are more connected to literary work such as models, which focuses on new concepts, new cause and effect relationships among different phenomena. Then coming to the next part of copyright is authorship. Now who is the author? This is the main question. So the Indian Copyright Act 1967 Section 2 subsection D defines author as: first is, so in relation to a literary or dramatic work, the author of the work. So suppose you have written a poem or a play, the author of the work will be the person who has written the poem, or the person who has written the play will be the author. Then next is in relation to a musical work, the composer. Suppose you are from the field of science, not science but actually music. Then if you have created a new music composition, then he will be the author of that work. In relation to an artistic work other than a photograph, the artist, the person who has actually created that artist will be the author. And next is in relation to a photograph, the person who has taken the photograph will be the author. In relation to a cinematograph or sound recording, the producer will be the author. And in relation to any literary, dramatic, musical or artistic work which is computer generated, the person whose causes the work to be created will be the author. Now, this is the main crux of copyright, the ownership. So the Indian Copyright Act 1957 Section 17 defines first author as: author of a work shall be the first owner of the copyright. The person who has created that particular literary dramatic work will be the first owner of the copyright. Then rights of the owner. The owner of the copyright in an existing work or the prospective owner of the copyright in a future work may assign to any person the copyright either wholly or partially, and either generally or subject to limitation, and either for the whole term of the copyright or any part thereof. But means the owner can transfer his work to anybody for the assignment. Either he can transfer the whole copyright or part of it. Then term of copyright. Section 22 of the Indian Copyright Act 1957 defines term of copyright in published, literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic work, except as otherwise hereinafter provided Copyright shall subsist in any literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work other than a photograph published within the lifetime of the author and the 60 years from the beginning of the calendar year next following the year in which it was authorized. You can understand this in a very simple manner that a person, if he gets copyright at the age of 36 and he expires at the age of 60, then the duration of the copyright will start, the duration of the 60 years will start from the date of his expiry. Suppose he expires at the age of 61, then it means 61, the duration which after the duration of which he has survived, he will be holding the copyright in his own name, and after his death, next 60 years, the particular work which he has created will be in his own name. So independently, the work will be for more than 100 years, let's say. Then licensing of copyright can be done. Section 30 defines licenses by owners of copyright. The owner of the copyright in any existing work or the prospective owner of the copyright in any future work may grant any interest in the right by license in writing signed by him or by his duly authorized agent, provided that in the case of a license relating to copyright in any future work, the license shall take effect only when the work comes into existence. Means after the work has come into existence, then only the license will be effective. This is the registration process. First step is application. Application is done on the application form for registration of copyright, which is known as Form 14, along with the fees of ₹500 for literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work to the Indian government, which has a copyright office at New Delhi. The application form has to be sent in 3 copies and work for which copyright is filed in 2 copies to the copyright office. Then after that there is a waiting period of 30 days after application, and if there is any objection, the party can raise its query to the copyright office. Subject to if there is any filed by any party having interest in the copyright. After that, an examiner is appointed by the copyright office who scrutinizes the application, and if there is any discrepancy, then he gives the letter to the person who has filed for copyright, and the person who has filed the copyright has to give answer for that. And if there is no discrepancy found in the application form, then registration is approved by the deputy registrar, and after that the registrar sends extract from the register to the applicant, the certificate of copyright and registration. And thank you so much. I hope you have understood what is copyright, what is the procedure of copyright, what is the terms of copyright. If there is any query, kindly ask me in the comments. Kindly don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.